This drives me fucking crazy. What is the stigma and the stereotype of Cuban Americans or Cubans, right? We sell coke, right? We drink a lot of mojitos. We don't fucking work. We smoke cigars. We play dominoes, right? Who's doubling down on stuff like that? The guys who own places like Little Havana, they're doubling down and saying, putting dale on everything, selling mojitos at every fucking corner, doing shit like that, and they're doing it poorly. That's the biggest problem. When you look at things like artists and certain types of creatives and things like that, they work for the sum of one, which is like this artist is trying to create this painting of a tree or whatever the fuck it is, and they're gonna try it out 20 times, but they're trying to produce one. You know, we have to produce one dish 40 times, and we have to do it the same way every single time to perfection, or close to perfection as you can get, and do that over and over and over and over and over again. So whether it's like artistic or creative, and there's artistic and creative elements, you know, for us it's a craft. Our craft is really, you know, what we work on, how to cook, our technique, etc. I love our food. Our food is based with soul, it's based with realness, it's based with like family, community. It's what kept people going when they had no fucking money. That's the truth. That's what Cuban food really is. It's peasant food, right? And that kind of food, that soul quenching food, is really, in my mind, what we're known for. The future of our cuisine now is changing. The future now is like, where are we gonna go next? We're creating what the future is gonna be. Because I'll tell you from experience, because I've worked for some amazing guys of Cuban descent, that their food is incredible, but no one is gonna pay proper price for rice and beans. That's the truth. They don't give a fuck if you buy the best beans in the world. You source rice from the guy who Hero buys rice from. They don't care, right? They care about, I can get these rice and beans for $4 in the corner. That's what they care about. So for us, it's our job to see what the evolution is gonna be. What's like the next step for us Cuban Americans? Because we're not just Cuban anymore. I was born Hialeah, you know, which is pretty Cuban, but like, it's evolution now. Where are we gonna go now? What's gonna be the difference? Who's gonna make a difference? Who's gonna care is the bigger question. Is they're training people and they're teaching them the wrong fucking things. They're training people to think we are just that we're just mojitos and fucking dominoes and words like dale and whatever, man. That's not us, that's not who we are. You know, that's the biggest problem with this whole like education of like who Cuban Americans are. It's like jazz and blues. How many people really listen to jazz and blues? Not many, because that's like, you got to think about it. It's thought-provoking music. You got to be educated on music and things like that nature. You know, it's much easier to sell Justin Bieber and Despacito because it's more like crowd pleasing. You understand what I mean? That's the biggest problem with education. There's people doubling down on the wrong shit. You know, we don't do things like other people do. We cook real food. We serve real cocktails. And we approach it in a very different way. And when people ask me what kind of restaurant this is, I said, you know, the cuisine is definitely that French, Cuban influence, but it's how a kid from Miami would do it. It's how someone that was born and raised in the city with all kinds of like culture that, I mean, I've been touched by so many different things, from working for French dudes, Italian dudes, Filipino dudes. I mean, there's so much different shit here. This is a melting pot. You know, I didn't start doing this to create food that's good for social media. I did this to create food that was good for the soul. I did this to cook real food also, you know, something that didn't take 20 minutes to plate up one thing, because they're so worried about what it's gonna look like for the picture instead of what it's gonna taste like for the person. We say we cook Miami food because we use Miami products. You know, I get my cheese from a local guy. I get my produce from several local farms. And that's not to say that we do farm to table cuisine, because we don't tout that either. But I want to support the city. I want to help build the city through these people that really put down roots. And it's like, there are farmers. Right now, Miami is represented by an old guard of like amazing chefs. And I just want to be there for the future, to hopefully carry that baton from them and be a part of the group that continues to push our food forward. So in 10, 15 years, people aren't just saying, well, you know, the best food is in Chicago, New York, and LA. Fuck that. The best food is in Miami, Chicago, New York, and LA. That's where I want to be.